I guess there's a lot of myths and stereotypes around LGBTQ relationships. I know for myself, there's that myth of, it's just boys being boys and a man should be able to defend himself. And that was something that always sort of, made me think, can I be a victim? We're the same size, I'm a man, I should be able to protect myself. Can I be a victim? So things like that stop people from identifying that either they can be a perpetrator of violence or they can be a victim of violence, or that it can affect them. When we look at lesbian relationships, there's the old myths of it's just a cat fight, or a woman can't be an abuser, and because of these myths and stereotypes, that can prevent people from identifying it. It can prevent their friends, families, work colleagues from actually seeing those as abusive behaviours because they don't think that abuse can occur in those relationships. So I guess, one of the main things that we encourage people to do is just to really understand that domestic violence can happen to anyone, no matter what your gender or sexuality is, and keep an eye out for those signs of abuse in their friends and family, and understand it can affect them.
One of the big issues is the fact that that a lot of LGBTQ folk really have trouble identifying violence in their relationships because it's not widely understood, or there's these myths that suggest that violence can only happen between a man and a woman. Everybody who's experiencing violence wants to be believed. That includes LGBTQ folk. But there is this idea, and a part of the problem with all of these myths, that men can protect themselves, that women aren't aggressive to other women, that men should be able to sort out their problems, all of those sorts of things, that they think that if they do report them, then they won't be believed.
I think from a GP point of view, I think the most important thing that GPs need to hear is that they need to care about their queer patients, they need to ask and find out about them, and then they need to think about domestic violence. And pairing those two things together is exactly how we can be more aware of domestic violence in the LGBTQ community. You've got patients who are probably in the LGBTQ community, and them having to come out to their doctor is already a big step. So having to come out that second time and talk about domestic violence is massive. So we need to make that easy for them. We need to ask, we need to be curious, we need to care about who they are, their sexuality, their gender. But then we need to ask about the serious things as well. We need to ask about how safe they feel at home. We need to ask about how safe they feel in their relationships.